the abbreviated free agency window of about a week and a half in November. Three-pointer is good by Jalen Noel.
Noel has a good-looking stroke from the perimeter.
Shot 44% on threes as a sophomore in college at Washington, as a matter of fact. Timeout. And then Sunday afternoon, the 27th, they'll play the Clippers. We'll be back on the air for that broadcast. Obviously, the resume of the Lakers and Clippers speaks for itself. And don't forget that Phoenix went 8-0 in the bubble. They did come up just short of getting into the play-in tournament. The two teams, Memphis and Portland, that played in the 8-9 game for that last playoff spot that Portland was able to secure. But Phoenix went 8-0 in the bubble with two of those wins against the Mavs, by the way.
That'll be your biggest jump this year. And I think people forget, Harp, that last year, they started the season with 8 and missing 25 games or whatever that suspension was. Right. And, by the time we got to the bubble, they'd started settling in a little bit. And we saw it in the bubble there. They've added Chris Paul. That's a really tough young team coming up in the West.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Paul just seems to make everybody better when he goes to a different team.
Indeed.
He did it in Oklahoma City last year, and will do the same there. And I think Devin Booker is a star on the rise as a young player in this league.
Co-sign.
You were talking about the bubble, Mark. He turned the bubble out. Along with Luka and KP and Dame Lillard and all those guys. Donovan Mitchell.
Jamal Murray,
Jokic. I mean, it was incredible basketball.
It was great.
Which led me to ask you a question, Fatherwell, last week, as to whether or not it's easier to play.
Mm-hmm. As Jared Culver hits a three, by the way.
Without fans.
Well, I would have to defer to people who have been in that situation, first and foremost, of course. But I think I said the Harp's question. I think it's harder to play without fans because I think I think guys derive energy from either the home crowd or, as Boban tries the fancy pass that'll be stolen, or from the us against the world feeling of being on the road.
Right.
And so you're just used to that in game situations, playing in front of a crowd and either being the team that's cheered on by the home crowd or being booed by the road crowd, but whatever, it's just what you're used to. So I thought it would be harder to play those games in the bubble because of the lack of a crowd situation.
I don't think there's a perfect answer.
Sure.
First off,
right.
But as far as I'm concerned, I think it's a little bit easier because you don't get the pressure noise.
Right.
There are times I played at Rump Arena my freshman year at Illinois. Right. And I swear to you, I couldn't hear myself swallow. Honestly,
That's loud, dude.
it was that loud. I mean, we got blown out of that place, man. And I just think when the fans at this level, there's a little bit more pressure with people yelling and screaming. You're at the free throw line, second on the clock.
Right.
You need the free throw to tie the game. And you have people on the floor yelling, screaming. I mean, in San Diego, when the Clippers played, they used to put pictures of women
from the beach, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I just think it's a little bit more difficult personally. And that's not to take anything away from the production that was down in the bubble in Orlando. I mean, those guys were just tearing it up. They were sensational.
Noel in the paint, and it rolls in. This is a 2-point game.
It sure is. And the Mavs have gotten a little sloppy on offense.
Got Boban with 3 rookies. Wes Iwundu also on the floor for the Mavs here at the end. A drive by Tyrell Terry, the first pick of the second round after a year at Stanford. He missed the layup. McDaniels, a late first-round pick. The drive and the pass to Naz Reid. Tie game. From down 15 to start the fourth quarter, it is level at 112 with 2:16 to go. Timeout Mavs.
Where they play some meaningful minutes to decide a win or a loss, and let's see how they fare. Terry, Hay, Green, all those young kids.
Going to go to the veteran on the floor. Boban, quick move to the basket to flush it.
I love that. You have all these young dudes on the floor. Just get it to the big veteran in the middle. Let him dunk.
Who is always going to produce.
Yes, he is.
Limited minutes, never stop Boban. Reed goes at Boban on the drive and scores on the reverse.
Yeah, see, we've been talking about Reed. He's showing me something tonight.
He's got footwork, Hart.
Yeah, he's quick with it, too.
Tyler Bay. Bay finds the cutting Josh Green. Went off the underside of the rim as he attempted the reverse. Looking to go in front for the first time since the second quarter of the game. Jarrett Culver misses, and Reed point-blank tip-in, no good. To break the tie, how's it going down here? We have a foul that's been called on Minnesota. First of the last 2 minutes. Foul of the game on Naz Reid. 1:16 left. No free throws. Side out of bounds for the Mavs. 18 on the shot clock. The 18th pick in November's draft, Josh Green throws it into Terry. Tyler Bay, Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year at Colorado. Here he feeds it down low, and coming over to block the shot by Boban, it was Jared Vanderbilt. And Reed going to the basket, but took off too early, came up short on the dunk. Wild putback attempt by Vanderbilt, no good. Jalen Noel will rebound, dribble out of traffic, take it inside. Culver picked up by Wentz, a one-dude, drive. Oh, layup missed. He got free and missed it.
There's a lot of bad misses on that possession.
Terry came close to a travel. Pass over the top of the defense, but Boban lost it. Loose ball picked up. Wentz, a one-dude. Caught inside underneath the basket. Tyler Bay going up. Stripped away by Minnesota. 27 seconds left.
That was 35 seconds of wild basketball, man.
There's a 4-second difference. Shot clock, game clock.
This game just got excited all over again.
Coming downhill now, Jalen Noel in the paint. He'll kick it out. Naz Reid, three-pointer. Long rebound. Tyler Bay has it. Timeout Mavs with 4.5 left in the game.
I understand why he called the timeout, but part of me just wanted to see what was going to happen next.
Minnesota had plenty of chances to retake the lead.
So what Reed got a wide open look.
That'll end up on a Shaq highlight at some point.
Nope. Had to know when to attempt the dunk and when to just take 2 points.
Regular season due to start next Wednesday as it's the preseason finale tonight. Notable games for the Mavericks in the first half of the season. Remember, they've only released the schedule up until the 5th of March. Phoenix Suns, the season opener, and that road trip we've been talking about against the Lakers and Clippers. First 2 home games are on the 30th of December and January 1st against the Charlotte Hornets and the Eastern Conference champion Miami Heat. Mavs go to Denver, the team that played the Lakers in the West Finals. Golden State in town to play Dallas twice. 2 straight games on the 4th and 6th of February. And Dallas goes on the road to see the Steve Nash coached Brooklyn Nets of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant on February 27th.
That early February Golden State double dip is pretty interesting.
Yes, sir. Now the question is, who will have the rock in their hands for a shot at the end of the game?
Gonna dump it right in the bogey.
I like the call. The one dude to take it out of bounds. It's into Tyrell Terry. Terry with the drive. He stops, he spins, he shoots, he has it blocked. Reed has the overtime. In the final of the 3 preseasons for the Mavs and the Timberwolves, overtime as Minnesota goes on a 14-2 run to end regulation. We got 5 minutes of free hoops.
Let's go.
Kevin, your way right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.
Talent.
And I don't think they're going to mind that at all. 5 more minutes to get out there.
I'm loving this.
Nate Hinton will play here at the start of overtime. He didn't play in regulation, but comes in for a one-do here.
I think they know what they have in Hinton if they decide to keep him around.
Yep. And that looks like that should be the case. He's on a two-way contract.
Yeah.
Undrafted player out of the University of Houston.
It's pretty tough. Quick as light.
It's Gotown on Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt had a big block against Boban late in regulation, but Jared Vanderbilt in his third year in the league from Kentucky called for the goaltend, and so Dallas scores the first 2 points of overtime. Nas Reed missed a three late in regulation. He passed up a three, gave up the ball to Jared Culver, who will take a three and hit it.
Wow, that looks good.
Minnesota goes in front. Their first lead since the second quarter. Dribble handoff went to Nate Hinton. Hinton played really well in the first preseason game. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists in the fourth quarter of that game.
He shined big time. Got people on out there.
Finishing spot at the elbow. Josh Green, no good on the jump shot. Minute off the clock at overtime. Reed with a screen to open things up for a hard drive. There's a foul called on the floor before Reed got to the basket.
They're calling them Boban.
First team foul of overtime. It's on Boban.
Yep. Big Bobby. Taking up a lot of room out there.
Into Reed. Reed screens Culver looking for another three-pointer. Foul.
That's not a smart foul that time by Green. He was out of position to start with. They have want to foul a jump shooter in that situation. Just a little bit over-aggressive.
We noted earlier a 46% performance at the free throw line as a rookie. Culver is 4 for 4 on free throws in tonight's game.
It's early in his career. I think he has a chance to be a decent pro.
I do too, Hart.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't think that he's a 50% free throw shooter. You look at the stroke, we were talking earlier about, when you end up as a rookie in the situation you go into, that's kind of a chaotic situation he went into last year. And
yeah.
Has 6 points in overtime, all 6 points for the Timberwolves in overtime. And a made three and 3 made freebies. And a block of Tyrell Terry by Jaden McDaniels. Players selected 3 spots apart. McDaniels 28th. And then Terry 31st in the draft in the summer. And the bank shot is good. Noel
is a nifty offensive player. I like that decision to pull up mid-range opposed to going into the traffic.
It's an 8-0 Minnesota run after Boban scored the first basket of overtime. And Boban catches inside and lays it in.
Man, he got hammered in there.
By contact.
When you're that big, they just expect guys to be able to. Shaq is like, yeah, tell me about it.
Open spot for Culver for a mid-range J. Hinton with the rebound. And Terry stepped out of bounds when he caught it. Turnover Dallas with 2:49 left in overtime.
Those are always such frustrating turnovers. Just fanning out of bounds when you catch it.
Looks like Culver's coming out of the game now.
Yep. After leading the team in scoring in the overtime.
Yep. Ashton Hagen's going into the game. And Reed for 3.
When he shoots those threes, he looks like he's going out of his way to not bend his legs at all. It's a very unique release.
Kind of a set shot.
Yeah.
Paint catch by Marjanovic, and then Tyler Bay on the give-and-go dive cut. Boban leaves it for Tyler Bay, who is fouled.
Nice little give and go. Hey, he got to get to the free throw line. You're talking about athletic.
Yeah.
He can do a lot of wicked things from an athletic standpoint.
I would be interested in seeing him try a free throw where he runs and takes off behind the free throw line and dunks it. Because I feel like he can do that with that vertical. 2 free throws made for Tyler Bay, who over the last 2 years in Colorado averaged almost 14 points and 9.5 rebounds a game and shot about 75% on free throws. So after an 8-0 Minnesota run, 4 straight points by Dallas, back within 2, but Reed lays it in to stretch the lead out to 2 shots. 124-120, just over 2 to play in OT. Minnesota had a 14-2 run in the 4th quarter to climb back to even Steven with Dallas as Boban quickly spins and misses off the glass. Left-handed pass by Hagan, cross court. Pass went to Reed from Jared Vanderbilt, and Reed with a nice looking drive into the paint to lay it in.
He is better than you think.
0.7 rebounds in the game tonight for Naz Reid, the second-year player from LSU.
You see him going right at the shot blocking ability of Boban that time. And here you see him working off the bounce, getting around the bow, and using the window at the end.
A McDonald's All-American coming out of high school, Roselle Catholic in New Jersey. He was considered by many to be one of the 20 best recruits in the country and then played a year at LSU and was undrafted in 2019. We've got 1:45 left in the game. Mavs fans, enter the TXU Energy Home Team Sweepstakes, and you can win a Mavs swag bag. Enter now at win.txu.com/Dallas-Home Team.
I want a swag bag.
We can get you one of those for Christmas.
That'd be great. Thank you, man.
Right down the chimney.
Always use more, Harp. Want to crank it up a notch.
Use more of that swag. Huh?
Why not?
Can you make swag, or do you have to be born with it?
I think you can. I think you're
can
probably
create
born with it, right?
Yeah.
But you can,
Yeah, you can create something too.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, kind of catch a feel for your environment and see if you can generate some.
Yeah.
Look at that. I guarantee you he took Chopper's camera. He loves Chopper. I think he took Chopper's camera there.
Oh, man, Casey Spangler just got away with one of Luka's shots. Inbounds pass, Tyrell Terry right to the basket.
Good
Gave
pass.
it up.
Good
Wide open
pass.
3. Josh Green on the money. 1-point game.
That's great execution.
Yes, it is.
Out of timeout. Good to see that from young players.
Dribble handoff to Jalen Noel. Tied around that screen by Reed. Off-target pass to Jaden McDaniels. McDaniels recovers it. Noel's got 3-point range. Let's see if he lets it fly. Not from deep. He came to a jump stop about 3 or 4 feet inside the arc and nails that 2-pointer.
Noel is a very poised player.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an excellent job that time. He just took what the defense gave up. Fantastic shooter from the perimeter.
128-123 Minnesota. Tyler Bay for 3. Green just hit one. Bay missed that one. Flying in to keep it alive is Nate Hinton, and he's fouled.
It's Harris that pushed him in the back.
First foul in the last 2 minutes of overtime. 1 minute on the button left in OT. With Dallas down by 5. He missed a 3 a moment ago. Heading into a late clock situation, just gave up his dribble. Now it's a really tough spot. Hit and find some room to go up the baseline. Boban shot with 2 left on the clock, no good. And Ashton Higgins with the rebound.
That was a really nice little pass. Couldn't get the shot to drop.
Higgins goes baseline, fouled by Josh Green. Ashton Higgins on a 2-way contract with Minnesota after playing 2 years at Kentucky. The winning defensive player of the Southeastern Conference in one of those 2 seasons. Daniels to throw it in. Higgins the jumper. And Leaves the door ajar for Dallas when he misses that one.
What a crowd crazy on that one.
Gets it all the way, fouled. With 22.8 left of the game.
I like the attack.
Yes.
Instead of just settling in the open court, you're a little water bug player, quick. Right to the rim. That's what he did in game 1 in Milwaukee.
Second team All-American Conference player. As a sophomore at University of Houston, averaged almost 11 points and about 9 rebounds a game. Boban going out. Devontae Patterson from Prairie View A&M and a high school state champion twice in Wise County at Bridgeport. Try to trap Jalen Noel in the backcourt. The Dallas foul. McDaniels nearly lost the ball, and it is
Big
a
steal.
lost ball. Steal by Kyler Bay. It's a 3-point game. Bay goes in for the layup. He's fouled with 7.8 left in the game.
Excellent defensive steal, though, by the Mavericks to get themselves out in the open court. Yeah, see Bay coming up with the steal. Couldn't finish the layup, but did get the call in the open court.
Averaged a steal and a half and 1.2 blocks per game last year at Colorado, and that's part of the pedigree that earned him the votes to be the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year.
Based on what the Mavericks are looking for, they like him as a player.
Yeah. There's a lot to like.
They are looking for defense.
No question.
Timeout. Bay makes both free throws. 1-point game. Minnesota ball with 7.8 left in OT. Well, Minnesota's young players will be tested at the free throw line, presumably, unless Dallas can force another turnover, which they just did a moment ago.
They have been able to.
Yeah. And hey, there was no other way they could pull this game out. They had to do that.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you have a couple of choices here. You can also foul. If you don't come up with the steal.
Goes in Reed, and Reed is fouled. Puts Dallas over the limit, and it will send Naz Reid to the free throw line with 6.9 seconds left. Minnesota went up by 6 points here in overtime. But it's a 1-point game right now, and it still is.
Okay.
See, that's what I mean about those loud fans.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's a little unnerving. You're like, who's making all that sound right now? That's not real.
Is it Mark Cuban? He is making that much sound right now.
I'm freaked out by this.
Well, a 2 to tie and a 3 to win is what the Mavs are looking at.
Well, get ready for another overtime.
Okay,
is that your
6.9
call?
left in this one.
Oh, Harp. Come on.
Minnesota leads 129-127, 6.9 seconds left in overtime. Naz Reid extended the lead to 2 points, going 1-2 at the free throw line.